Hi everybody, it's Eric and time for our video conversation. We had some really good questions this week, and the first is an email that came in from Donald in Edina. And Donald says, "Dear Representative Paulson, as a constituent and an educator, I'm writing to you today to ask you to vote yes on the Strengthening Career and Technical Education for the 21st Century Act when it comes to the House floor. Career and Technical Education, known as CTE, provides secondary students with engaging, relevant, and hands-on learning opportunities that lead to higher graduation rates and a range of post-secondary education and career options. Thanks for your continued support. Sincerely, Donald." Actually, as Donald points out, career and technical education programs do provide an alternative pathway for a lot of folks that don't go the traditional route of a 2-year degree or a 4-year degree in post-secondary education. And across the country now, about 12.5 million different high school and college-age students are now enrolled in these CTE programs that include everything from information technology to manufacturing. The problem is these programs have not been updated at the federal government level in well over a decade. The good news is the House passed this bill, which provides greater flexibility to allow states and local leaders to design these CTE programs to meet the flexibility needs of their local populations. And by doing this, we'll be able to make sure that our students are receiving the training and the skills to be effective and get employed in the 21st century. Next up is an email that comes in from Pat in Chanhassen. She says, "Congressman Paulson, throughout history the world has had to witness far too many devastating and potentially preventable acts of genocide and mass atrocities. This is including ethnic cleansing, war crimes, and crimes against humanity. Unfortunately, this is still continuing in places today like Iraq, Syria, and South Sudan. We can no longer stand on the sidelines while these horrific crimes are taking place. The United States must take a leadership role in preventing the next genocide. Thanks, Pat." Pat, thanks for sharing your thoughts. A lot of Americans still remember these atrocities that have happened over the past decades, going back to Armenia, Burma, and then Rwanda, of course. Currently, there are about 65 million people around the world who have been forced to leave their homes as they flee genocide or other mass atrocities that have occurred in these countries. It's simply unacceptable now for the global community to sit idly by while these atrocities take place. There are some things that we can do to take a leadership role and focus on prevention. We have recently introduced a bill, along with one of my colleagues. I signed on as an original co-sponsor. It's called the Elie Wiesel Genocide and Atrocities Prevention Act. The bill essentially establishes a new atrocities task force at the Department of State to coordinate and prioritize U.S. government and our foreign operations services to help focus time and attention to increase training on foreign service officers to recognize these early warning signs when genocide may take place in a country. And also establishing a new complex crisis fund to make sure that this takes place. By focusing on early prevention, it'll prevent military intervention down the road as well. I want to thank everyone for taking the time and attention to send your thoughts, your ideas, your questions. Of course, you can reach out anytime on Facebook, Twitter, of course online at paulson.house.gov.